Sampson, he, him. I am a singer, songwriter, rapper, uncommonly versatile, composer, producer, director, host, a lot of stuff. I just like to umbrella it by saying an all-around artist. Thank you for being here today. This is awesome. We're on a court that you designed, so this is great. I want to give a big shout out to my homie Devis Maxwell-Wana.
Okay,
was someone who, when I first ran into them, they were like playing guitar and singing. I was like, what is this? I've never seen a black person do this like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he was a really big influence. Like just seeing someone who was who was in that world of like theater and like songwriting and guitar playing. He's a big inspiration.
Is there a particular artistic project that holds special significance for you?
I was thankful and appreciative to be a part of Nocturne last year.
Oh, yes.
And for those who aren't familiar with Nocturne, it's an outdoor festival, installation festival that happens here in Halifax, in Dartmouth. I feel like there's some installations that happen out in Dartmouth. I really, really leaned on my artistic collaborator, Louisa Adamson, to help me out with that because I had the idea, but I didn't know how to execute it. And Louisa Adamson was like, "Cuz I've been in this for a minute. Like, let's get that idea to the forefront." And like, I set up 2 rooms to represent living room. There was a kitchen because Nanny's always in the kitchen. That's the spot where all the gossip happens. Your aunts, your uncles are all in there. They're telling you guys to go upstairs or go outside, but they're in there on the gossip tip. They're drinking, they're singing. It was in the last room. It was like almost like a wake. Or like a funeral, like that to symbolize when they're gone. What does that look like? And I set up all the matriarchs in my family, like all the different parts of my family tree, just to kind of show like all the different names and all the different families I'm connected to. Yep. But also understanding that a lot of these women that I have pictured, they didn't even know of each other. They didn't even know who each other were, but they're connected through their aunts, their kin. They're connected through their grandparent or their grandson. When people started coming through that installation and really feeling the feeling of being in their grandparents' house, I think it did exactly what it needed to do. That's a big artistic project that I'm glad I got to be a part of, and I'm glad I got to work with Louisa Adamson on that. Africvillian Funk, a song that is dedicated to the people of Africville, also recognizing that there's still a funk within the displacement of Africvillians. Like we're in a community right now that was created because of the displacement of Africvillians. And it was a question that I had within that song and that process was, what is the funk?
Yeah.
The funk is that we're still fighting for this to this day. The funk is that we're still dealing with a lot of the systemic stuff that that Africvillians used to deal with, and we're still dealing with a lot of this stuff. A lot of the systems are still in place for us for us to get to a certain point, but not get any further. So like that's the funk. The work that I'm doing with Generations, Black Memories in Nova Scotia, host of that series for season 1. I was the host and co-director of that. Season 2, I was the director of that. It was an idea that my friends John Walsh and Jeff McCollum came to me and they asked me, like, I want to go across Nova Scotia and talk with black folks about their experiences growing up in this province. I want to try to intergenerationally connect the older generation and the younger generation. I want to talk with them and converse with them about how we can actually come together as black folks in Nova Scotia. How do we get to work together? How do we heal from a lot of the traumatic experiences? What were people cooking in their houses? Who were they related to? I mean, I found that I'm related to 85% of the people in this whole province.
We face the storms.
I feel like you sort of answered this question, but I was going to ask you, where do you find your inspiration? Are there some seeds that like spark these ideas for you?
I get inspiration through the energies of talking with folks. And like I get inspiration through like learning of people's experiences. I get inspiration from how people got through some of their hardships. I get inspiration from, who people's families are. What are people's nicknames? I've become more rooted in the African Nova Scotian experience. Why am I looking for inspiration in America when I got everything right here?
Decades, even centuries from now, what would you want people to take away from your work when they're looking back?
I would just like folks to look at the work and be like, and look at it and be like, you know what, this brother's trying. Everything you need is right in your grandmother's living room. It really is. Yeah. You just got to sit down, you got to listen and learn from each other, with each other.
Thank you for welcoming us to your home community, Uniac Square.
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure again to learn more about your process and your artistic vision and all that great stuff.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations on the award.
Thank you, man.
Scotia born, say my people's name. Scotia born, Scotia born.